My prediction is for Riley on Friday 9th of March 2018. Maybe Savannah as well. And right now it's 11:06 PM on Tuesday, January 9, 2018. That's near Canberra in New South Wales, Australia. So Eastern Australian Daylight Savings Time. If we go over to Western Australia, Broome, which is pretty close to where the cyclone is currently forming, it is 8:06 PM. Same date, Tuesday 9th of January 2018. Broome. Anyway, 59. God, the weird, moral, cruel wasp. Big bad one. And here I'm adding up the values of the words. So the letters, according to their place in the alphabet, W, A, S. P is 23 plus 1 plus 19 plus 16, 59. God. God, the weird, moral, cruel wasp. Big bad one. 5 9s are 45. My name, Phil, 45. And 5 plus 9 is 14. The value of dead, be bad. 45 plus 14, the value of dead Phil. Slave. Phil had a bad devil. Defiant, bad Josh. He's Jake, brave dragon. Jacob is redeemed. The dark side of Christianity. We all know about it now. The stuff that happened. The Dragon Boy's revenge is a prophecy that he is making against the Australian Department of Immigration and Border Protection and the unpleasant Australian Minister for Home Affairs, Peter Dutton, MP. When the police and FBI raided the house of Jacob Wethling's killer, Danny Heinrich, they found a Bible and a portrait of Adolf Hitler and Heinrich Himmler. And that was at the end of August 2016. Red rain of blood, blood of the child. Boy Jake, Riley. I mentioned Josh back there. Have faith Josh 10 9:45 could be part of this. The time 9:45. But right now it's 11:09 on the 9th of the 1st. That's in Canberra. Or if we go over to Broome, is 8:09. 3 hours difference. And I'm just going to finish this by checking out what's on the Weather Channel for today. What was the weather up to today? The 9th of January 2018.
Good evening, watching Sky News weather. What a storm day it was across New South Wales and the ACT on Tuesday. As predicted, we saw widespread severe storms. Here's some shots from those storms rolling across Sydney. The shelf cloud came in, the dark cloud. We had some very heavy rainfall. Just briefly, some gusty winds. Port Botany, the airport, gusts over 90 kilometres per hour. Watermolla, Royal National Park, had a gust of 113 kilometres per hour. That's my favourite shot. There's the shelf cloud over the southern suburbs. And it definitely was the southern suburbs where we saw the worst of that storm for Sydney. Now, it was other parts of New South Wales which also got slammed by severe storms. Nowra, the weather station there, which is south of the town, had a gust of 122 kilometres per hour, and we had gusts of 90 km an hour through the central west. It was all due to this trough of low pressure, which has now moved over towards northern New South Wales, and that is why that storm area also is pushing towards the north. Area of high pressure moving in for Wednesday over southern Australia. It's going to be a nice day for the southern states. Heat trough through WA, and we do have a tropical low that's forming just off the north coast of WA. You can see that cloud circulating around the centre of that monsoon low. Storm clouds across the top end as well through Tuesday and Cape York Peninsula. But the activity is really focused around the Kimberley, and we now have a cyclone warning that was issued during Tuesday afternoon between Kuri Bay and Bidjadanga. That includes Broome. We possibly will start to see gale force winds developing later on Wednesday as this tropical low deepens, and cyclone watch extended to Port Hedland. Now that was the warning as we moved into Tuesday evening. That area in the yellow won't see gale force winds on Wednesday, but possibly could start to see them at some point through Thursday or early Friday. This is some model data of the system tracking off the coastline Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, deepening out over the warm tropical oceans, and that's where cyclones derive their energy from. It's the evaporation of warm tropical oceans. That ocean temperature has to be at least 26.5 degrees. Well, it's more like 30 degrees off the north coast, so definitely warm enough. So there it is. The heavy rain on Wednesday is on the eastern side of the low where the winds are onshore. That's the monsoon northwesterly flow, a drier southeasterly airstream affecting the areas to the west of the centre. But heavy rain on the way. We've got flood watches already in place for parts of the Kimberley, and we are expecting impact perhaps later this week. More details on that coming up shortly in my analysis report. Our satellite shows we did see on Tuesday storm clouds through the southern part of WA. We had a warning in place at one stage for that area, through parts of the Goldfields and Wheatbelt, and that's a band of storms moving through New South Wales. Let's have a look at some of the radars from earlier on Tuesday. Central West had storms gusts over 90 k's, Parkes, Forbes, Condobolin. Supercell storms on the radar around Canberra. This one was, and further east that was probably also a supercell. That's rotation. Very dangerous storm supercells, and one of them did cause hail 4 to 5 centimetres in diameter just to the northwest of Canberra. Canberra definitely saw a storm during the middle of the afternoon, but we didn't see the worst of the weather in Canberra. That was good news. We're going to go further east now. We saw a squall line, so a band of organised multi-cells moving through the Illawarra district late afternoon, early evening, and then going through the southern suburbs of Sydney. But once we hit 8 p.m, you can see those storms were well offshore. So the warning was cancelled by 8 o'clock for Sydney, the Illawarra, and also the other southern parts of the state. We still had a warning in place, though, later in the evening, extending up through the Hunter and then the northern central tablelands, central west slopes plains, even all the way up towards the southern northwest slopes and plains district. But definitely the worst of it was over for that central part of the coast. This is the forecast rain then for Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. The activity is dying down, not completely clearing. There's some chance that some of these storms will even survive the night into the early hours on Wednesday. But Wednesday, the focus of the storms will be over northern New South Wales, because that's where the trough will be. These were the maximum temperatures that we did see on Tuesday. 32 in Brisbane. That warm weather continues. We've got heat wave conditions in Queensland through the west. Alice Springs also very hot, 41.5. Sydney hit 30, and then a southerly buster came through just before 8 o'clock, and it quickly dropped the temperature about 10 degrees. Canberra hit 32 degrees, but also dropped below 20 by sunrise, with the help from those thunderstorms as well. Melbourne 22.5 was your maximum, so much cooler weather. That's southeast. There's the southerly change moving all the way up to the mid-north coast overnight, but then it will stall. I'm really sorry to say this, but far northern New South Wales, there will be no cool change. Wednesday afternoon, it's still 40 degrees. The deep red with winds coming down from the northwest. So Moree, Burke, for example, some towns there up to day 5 of a heat wave on Wednesday, but definitely cooler for the New South Wales coast and ranges, apart from the northern rivers. We'll probably still see some temps there up around 30 degrees, but stay tuned. More details coming up on our tropical low developing into a tropical cyclone coming up shortly.
Yeah, that's what happened today, and it's now 8:14 p.m. on Tuesday, 9th of January 2018. 14, one of the numbers that I mentioned in my thing that I just read. 11, 14. Jake was 11, 14, the value of dead. So, maybe Jake's not as dead as some of the cruel people who inhabit this earth and torture the living, sometimes by locking them up in offshore immigration detention centers, which is undeniably cruel. God, the weird, moral, cruel wasp. Big bad one. And the people in those places, they are slaves. They're slaves just like anyone who is screwed over by powerful people. Whether it's a lone psychopath or organized psychopaths who are part of government, it really doesn't make any difference. If you're screwed over by psychopaths, you're screwed over by psychopaths. So the Dragon Boy's revenge is a prophecy that he is making against the Australian Department of Immigration and Border Protection and the unpleasant Australian Minister for Home Affairs, Peter Dutton, MP.